Never have enough time in the day, man.
Erica's live streaming, but it's gonna pick it up unless I turn off the microphone to report the live stream.
Okay, we have to do without the microphone.
I mean, we're gonna start, or it's right now it's recording to the live stream.
How do you say
I
your
think we
last name?
can. I think we can begin now that we have quorum.
Van E? Van E. What kind of name is that? Dutch.
You guys start? I don't hear anything. Or no?
We haven't started yet.
We need one more.
Oh, I see.
Wait, I thought there's
Oh,
three.
wait a minute. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay,
And then we'll just share the agenda.
okay, John, good?
Yes.
Okay. Call the meeting to order for Southern Guam Soil and Water Conservation District. Regular board meeting for the month of June. Today is Wednesday, June 18, 2025, and the time is 4:16 p.m. We are in the room 202 at the College of Natural and Applied Sciences. Want to do roll call? Okay.
Okay, for roll call today, we have Chairperson Michael Uggan,
Present.
Vice Chairperson Glenn Takai. I believe, is he joining us, Ari, online, or he's not able to at all?
He's not able to.
He's off
He-
island, so he's excused.
Okay, District Director Yvonne Manglonia Waneza. She should be joining us.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
So
So we'll see. Yeah.
District Director Martha Tenorio, that's me, I'm present. District Director Dr. Glenn Dula,
Present.
and that would be, we do have.
So we have a
quorum,
quorum,
yeah.
right? Okay, so you wanna,
Move along to
Mhm.
the staff. We have District Admin Erica Pangilinan,
Present.
Conservation Tech Madeline Flores, she is here, she just stepped out for a
Yeah.
few seconds. Program Support Specialist John Tanuvasa,
Present.
Project Director Geraldine Dantowin. Present. Conservation Associate Day Pangilinan. Present. Conservation Associate Johnny Borja.
He was on, he just dropped off.
Okay,
It looked like,
yeah, I saw him, he was online before we started.
Mhm.
oh, he's back.
Okay,
Okay,
Johnny, you back? Doing roll call.
there it is.
Bubbles is back.
Bubbles?
That's his other name is Bobo.
Bubbles, are you there?
Sorry, did you call me? I am present. It
Yes,
disconnected.
thank you, no problem. UOG Technical Advisor, Mark Acosta.
Present.
So that will be our
Okay.
staff, and then we also have some partners online with us and present. So we have Mr. Noah Vani. And he's with USDA
Wildlife Service.
Wildlife Service, and then from Northern Guam, Savannah Garcia. Vargas.
Hello.
Hi, Sav. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Is there anyone else I missed online or
I think we
in the
got it.
room? Okay, all right, and to note that Maddie is here in the room with us now.
Okay, so we do have a quorum, so we'll move along. Approval of the minutes from May 21st, 2025 meeting.
Sir, I will go ahead and do that. I'd like to make a motion to confirm or we're doing the meeting agenda?
The
Minutes.
approval of the minute.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Acceptance of the meeting agenda,
Okay. So,
number 2.
yes, I move that we confirm the agenda as presented.
Glenn, want a second?
Oh, sorry, I second it.
Okay.
No problem. Any inputs or comments on that? None?
No,
Without objection, so moved.
all right.
Moving on to number 3, approval of the minutes for May 5th, 2021, 2025.
I move that we go ahead and approve the minutes, as presented. I don't have any corrections for it. Dr. Dula?
Second.
Okay. Without objection, so moved. Thank you. Okay, treasurer's report.
All righty. In our general fund, there's $90,929.87. The TA 2023 account has $11,118.74. Farrow swine account, $4,456.65. And in the JACD TA 2020 account, there's a balance there of $23,873.61. I think that's it.
We're still current,
Yeah.
happy with all our allotments, right?
Yes, I believe so. What is that check status?
We were able to receive our new checks in the
Oh,
mail,
good. Oh, yes, thank you.
and then we'll go
Yay.
ahead. We are coming down to the ending of the third quarter. So by next meeting, we'll have a report in terms of expenses and allotments received, so we can see where we're at.
Okay, thank you, Erin.
No problem.
Okay, you're good.
Yes. Motion needed to
You
accept
need a
my
mo-
report.
yeah.
I make a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
Okay,
Second,
okay, without objection, so moved. All right, thank you, Martha. Moving on to number 5 is USDA NRCS District Conservation. Oh, he's not here, right?
right, Jay's on leave.
Jay's absent
Oh,
on leave.
okay. So it says that. Gary, did you want to do that part about the update on
Yeah.
upcoming?
I'll go ahead and just note a few things
Thank you.
relative to
Sure.
USDA
Speak.
NRCS.
Okay, where's
So
that?
we are looking to onboard staff. I know we are trying to get Jara onboarded, as well as Day and Johnny. According to Jay, during the last meeting, he needs info on what we will be committing, I guess, in terms of time and effort to NRCS, and the minimum is 20% of district staff time. So we'll try to follow up, but I believe Jara's been following up on her part and has had zero luck with getting a time frame or timeline and or to see where her onboarding documents are. There is an upcoming training, cultural resources training, that all staff will be engaged in. John, do you have those dates of the training?
I think it's the 24th, 3rd and 24th, but I think it's pending because some issues that they're not sure if it's gonna be next week or if they're gonna push it back. They're not sure yet,
All right,
but
well, I
for now it's
guess,
scheduled, but they might change it.
okay. Right, there are some prerequisites, so regardless, we'll just push on and ensuring that we get the Ag Learn training done. I did speak with JB and he did inform that they do have an upcoming stack meeting tentatively scheduled for August. Stack will be occurring twice a year. So the second one is targeted to be held in August. John, is there anything that you'd like to report out, being that you are our liaison within NRCS at this time? How are things going?
They're going, it's really busy over there. We're, ending the first round, just starting the second round. We're pretty behind. But, things are going. So,
Do you have any, and it's okay if not, but any metrics in terms of how many of our members have made it through?
the first round,
Yes,
I can give you that on Friday. I don't have it, but,
it's okay. We
they're,
can just have Jay.
they're starting to obligate right now, though.
Okay, cool. That'll be interesting to see, but thank you. Thanks,
You know,
John.
the second round has much more than the first round. Second round is big.
Second round of equip.
Of equip and CSP, just everything, the second round is, there's a lot more people, I would say, than the first round.
Okay. Interested to learn what those numbers are looking like, especially for our members. All right, well, without further ado, I think that's really it for the NRCS side of the house. Mr. Chair.
Yes, thank you for covering that. So move on to
6.
number 6, which is the approval of Southern District memberships. Any updates?
Yes, I sent the approval list to your email. And there is 7, 8 new members.
So
But I had a question, if you guys, I had a question of the first one, number 49. So the very first top,
yeah.
she's a teacher at the elementary school, so she wanted to do a soil test for her garden, for her students. She was doing a new garden. She has another garden from last year, and then she wanted to do a new garden this coming new semester for her new students. So she applied, but I'm not too sure. I didn't print out her certificate because I wasn't sure if we used her name or the public school's name as the member, as our member. Cause the nonprofit, organization, they own the land, so they were able to like provide documents and everything, but I'm not too sure how to do it with the public school.
maybe for the school, right, you're talking about?
So it's like not her personal.
Yeah, so I know from the law, right, on who could be active members under the districts, it would be those who are registered Department of Ag, chamorro ranchers, farmers, or land occupiers. So I don't know where.
But does that include government entities?
It doesn't say.
I don't think so too. So. Yeah, I don't know how we would handle that. Cause the land itself, I mean, the club or whatever could be something, but I don't know.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
would maybe consider them as a partner.
Yeah,
rather
that's-
than a actual member.
Yeah,
Right?
that's what I'm thinking. So all the DOE schools, if they wanna, they could be like a partner.
Because really she's
affiliated
just
partners.
wanting to get the soil test, which is, right?
Because if they were a member. They would be authorized to vote, and I don't think they could do that as
Yeah.
a government entity.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, Maddie,
Can we still
so
give them a free soil test though for their garden?
I already did a soil
Oh,
test,
that's
but
good.
is that
that's
okay?
okay.
Okay, yeah,
As a being our partner?
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. And
Okay.
I believe, isn't she one of the teachers that participated in
Yeah,
our?
I think so.
our
Yes,
yeah.
yeah.
That's
She's,
good.
I think they won the junior farmer of the year.
Yeah,
That's good.
that's right. So if you guys can approve the rest of the
So
pending.
do we need to name these names out in our meeting?
No,
No,
do,
We don't?
no.
Okay.
so can we just do like pending the changes, or I'll take out the.
I would just, I
49.
can just put down, with the
Erica,
exclusion of.
Yes,
so there should be some kind of record though on it, right? Being accepted in. So like you would submit a report with the names for the record or something.
yeah, so we are doing this bi-monthly, we approve our members on a monthly basis. So everyone who is getting approved today is like our March 2025 membership update. But Mr. Chair, are you asking in terms of a record, like they do have a registration number in which we can reference?
Yeah,
But we do have a report in which we'll share and
yeah, that's what I'm
compile.
thinking. There should be some
Yeah.
kind of report, because that's the part of the meeting minutes, right? Accepting these individuals. That's
We
our
just
official.
remove some either personal identifying information, which we
Yeah.
don't have.
Yeah, you don't
That's
necessarily
our
need all
thing.
the, just
Mhm.
as long as you show the farmer and
Mhm.
you can identify the village, that way it solidifies that they're part of Southern or whatever. But
Right.
other than that,
Okay.
so.
We have I have a folder, like, we have a folder for them where it has all their documents.
Yeah, and that's good, but what I'm talking about is, something.
report for
on
record.
That we accepted these individuals as our members anyways, because that's gonna be our voter registry. So it has to be some kind of documentation of that.
So is it not the minutes being approved on the minutes, it's not.
Yeah,
But then I think he wants like
but you need
Like a
to know,
name.
you know,
like
you can-
like a spreadsheet.
you can always
kind of thing.
include a name that we didn't. 'Cause
The
Yeah.
document has the date.
Yeah.
When you guys sign.
Yeah, no, are you just talking about like, something that the whole thing is on one, like
Yeah.
every time you have?
Yeah,
like
not the whole.
Like a directory.
Not the whole app, just
Yeah.
your
It's
report,
every
that these
month.
are the individuals that were
Just to.
vetted and
And
accepted.
then you update it every time we
Yeah.
add a new, I guess, is that what you're talking about, like a spreadsheet,
Like a whole
list?
list of all the members each meeting?
Well, the ones that are being approved as we go along, right? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but we're just gonna say, okay, we approve them. But we don't have any names on record
was
in
an
the
ongoing
minutes. Cause the
list.
minutes is our history.
Mm.
So we could always insert some guy's name on a folder and say that's, he's been vetted, because we don't have a record of who was vetted, who was accepted. In
Yes,
the
so
minutes.
we can include this actually into the minutes, when we,
Yeah,
as an
that's what I'm
attachment.
saying. But you gotta show, I mean, I don't know.
Like an ongoing roster or something like that.
Yeah, as you go along, whoever's accepted should be admitted in via our meeting agenda and documented in the minutes for that meeting. Cause look, I mean, you can go back to prior to us being around, we don't know who was there without any. When you look at the minutes from the past, you should know everything that we did and who was involved and all that. In just that's our history.
And it is public information, but Chairman, I mean, I know we're different types of organizations, but what does the Farmers Co-op do? Do you list new members that you vote on? Is
Like a
that
directory, right?
Yeah, we have our list. And it's actually
is it
open.
included? Yeah,
Oh, like on our website perhaps, right? Just the names, and not have to have all the information, just registered So they're there within our website as well. I don't know. I'm just.
Let
Okay.
me look further into it. I just want to make sure. We,
Okay.
as much as I
But-
do want to provide this, I want to also make sure we're doing it appropriately and
Mhm.
but that's a good point that you raised, because really we just reference, okay, what was submitted on March 19th as the approved memberships, and that's kind of what we have for reference, which is
Yeah, and everyone has a certificate number, so there's no, can't really add anyone.
Maybe I'm just different.
right on.
So I know because we're gonna be doing the updated registry prior to the election.
Right.
And then I spoke to Robin Kiddo, who's now the
Northern.
Advisor. And we're gonna ask that when we receive the registry, that both chairs will actually sign off and that this is the list that's gonna be used for the election, so maybe that will help you if they were able to compile.
Yeah,
So
I mean, we have a record that we accepted in, and that's what, so my approval is gonna be based on that.
yes, yes.
Director Yvonne's here. Sorry.
Yvonne? Oh, okay. For the record, Yvonne Manglonia Waneza is online. Okay, Erica, you're gonna follow up on that?
Yes, I'll follow up on that.
Okay.
But meanwhile, we can go ahead and make the motion
Yeah,
for approving, yeah. So
Okay.
with that said, I'm going ahead and, I move that we accept the, what is this? Approve the membership updates, submitted, with the exclusion of number 49. Okay, so that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 new members to our Southern District membership.
okay. Glenn
Or Dr. Yvonne.
or Director Yvonne? Can we get a second?
I'll second it.
Thanks, Glenn. Hold on. Yvonne, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. So sorry. I was trying to navigate this, not used to Zoom on my mobile. But
Okay.
I third.
Okay, I just want to make sure you're there and hear what the motion and everything, so thanks for jumping on anyway. So without objection, so moved. Okay, thank you. Where are we at? Okay.
We are on
Old
number
bus-
7, yeah.
Old business. Item A, NACD Technical Assistance, 2024 grant.
Hmm?
Action plan,
Number 7.
right?
I think we're on.
Where we
the-
at?
You skipped, sir. We're on number 7, this one.
Oh.
2025 stewardship week activities.
Where's that?
Here, so- Oh, sorry, you took it out of your.
No, that's, oh, no, that's the one you gave me
Yeah,
earlier, but you
this
said
is, yeah, this is us.
okay, it's say we're. Old business, okay, 2025 stewardship week activities, after action report.
All right, I'd like to throw that to Daleen or Johnny.
I can go ahead and Day can jump in. So I did send our third draft. Hopefully this is the final one, and it just needs the board's eyes on it to approve what has been written. It is also the report for the Guam Educators Conservation Summit. So in the next week or so, if you have time, board, if you can just look it over, give any final suggestions, that way we can go ahead and package that to send out to partners and affiliates as soon as possible. Yeah, I think I did email earlier and I gave just some suggestions for things to look out for, just, minute details, spelling, grammar, things like that. But that's pretty much it. We did add the suggestions from our last meeting, which included the budgets and things like that.
Mhm.
Okay. So can we get an approval then?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you, Johnny. I actually did read through it and very thorough, I felt. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a motion that we go ahead and approve the final report for the 2025 GECS and the SWSWS, too many S's, action report. As submitted.
I second.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments or thoughts on that? Okay, without objection, so move. Thank you. Moving on to B, which is the REPI grant extension proposal and a potential approval.
Hey, Chairman Board. This is in regards to our current repri that we had. I sent out an email June 1st needing your concurrence for approving an extension, but also to inform you of an urgent matter. So at the time, it looked like we were running out of funds within our current repi account with our COG. And what had happened was that NACD had mistakenly deposited the amount of $60,000 into the Guam Association of Conservation Districts account. We requested that NACD prepare a formal letter requesting the return of funds from both the North and the South districts, in which both the chairpersons would then work with their boards to take formal action. We need to get those funds returned back to NACD. But with that mistakenly deposited amount of 60,000, our repi account essentially was out of funds. So we needed to ask for a grant extension proposal from NACD in which and or the approved amendment to the MOA, which we will talk about later on under new business. But we were able to get the MOA from NACD for our second amendment, in which then was able to cover the need for the proposal extension. But Dr. Dula, go ahead and jump in if you need or if you'd like to. But Dr. Dula was covering a lot of the expenses needed under the REPI account from his other RCOG accounts, and as well as the feral swine perimeter fencing account, in which those have been reimbursed. Dr. Dilla, I'm not sure, but we plan to reimburse them accordingly. So with that email that I sent out, we just asked for a board's consensus to carry out those emergency measures to just avoid any further operational delays and staff furloughs. So if we can get a ratification of that
Mhm.
board
Okay.
action, great.
Also, Erica, did Carla send that email out?
I haven't received any, but we do have a meeting with Kanisha tomorrow, Dr. Dula and myself. I know Mark, he's going to be with some WSARE people, but we'll bring it up
Okay,
and note the need to get that going.
okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
So we get
Okay.
motion for this ratification of actions
Okay.
that we took.
I make the motion that we go ahead and ratify the board action that's been taken to approve the Repi grant extension as previously submitted.
I'll second.
Okay. Any other discussion on that? None? Okay, without objection, so moved. Thank you too. Thank you guys for that.
Mhm.
Is there anything there else, Erica, on that?
No, just that, darn it.
Yep.
It makes it a lot harder,
I
you know,
know.
on us. And now we have to try to get back the 60,000 or not.
Yeah.
Is that
Well,
our issue?
Savannah's listening in, so maybe she can just bring that up to Joe. In the meantime, pending whatever memo from NACD.
JCD, yeah. Saf?
Yes, I can do that.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. You understand what happened there though, right?
Not entirely, no. Sorry.
There was a mistake on where the funding was transferred to.
Deposited to.
Yeah.
Okay.
It went to the GACD instead of Southern Guam.
Mm-hmm.
So she was supposed to submit or send an email to Joe and I to request that we facilitate the return of the money to NACD
Yeah.
so that it can be sent to the appropriate account.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So Joe would talk to your board there that are part of GACD, as well as we would do that to get that thing going. Return the funds that was mistakenly sent to GACD.
Yeah, back to NEC.
Fine.
I'm sorry, to send it back to NACD basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Sav. If you have any questions, just let me know, but
Okay.
we'll work with NACD.
Thank you, Swan. Okay, or
We are on,
number C, letter C, right?
yes, NEC.
Okay, NACD summer meeting, in Milwaukee, that's from July 25th to July 29th. Travel authorization and team coordination.
Yeah, so I believe last meeting we agreed that chairman, of course, you're going representing the executive board. Director Marty will be attending and myself. So we are all successfully registered for the meeting. As well as lodging has been secured. So by next meeting, we'll have the full travel authorization for approval, in which we'll also have a detailed outline of our efforts when we do attend the meeting. We were lucky enough because lodging is sold out.
Yeah. Thanks
Under the
to the Erica
NECD.
magic.
I was like, oh no. Savannah, is the Northern going to be attending?
We need to discuss it in our next board meeting.
Okay. When's your next board meeting?
July 1st.
Okay. All right, and that's it for the update regarding the summer meeting.
Okay. Thank you. Moving on to new business. NACD technical assistance grant for the 2024 MOA approval. We're seeking action.
Okay, really quickly, with a lot of back and forth with Chessa at NACD regarding our budget and plan of work, they are transitioning into a new reporting system, NACD with all their grants. So it was a bit of a learning curve for me, but we got it. Our budget has been approved as well as our plan of work, and they did cut the MOA for our signature. However, being that we are looking at running this MOA through our COOG, we're running into issues because NACD technically cannot award universities,
Yeah.
really anybody that are not like entities that are not members, the grant. So having to include our COG within the MOA, which is required for our COG in order for them to manage our grant, we're at a standstill right now. So Dr. Dula and I will be meeting with Kanisha and NACD and their leadership team to discuss how we can work around this issue. So if the
Wow.
board has any concerns, Dr. Dula, if you wanted to bring up anything, I mean, right now we definitely are awarded the grant. We're ready to go, but we're just trying to see how we can get the grant managed by our COG the quickest way possible. Because if we contract it out, we're going to have to treat our COG as a regular contractor. We'd have to go out and bid, et cetera, et cetera. So having our COG included in the MOA would help streamline this process, especially as they have been running our grants, our other NACD grants. But because this TA grant is very specific to just districts and not universities, if you will, it's kind of holding it up. But our COG is not a university or an institution of higher learning.
Corporation.
They're a corporation. So we're hoping the NACD leadership will take that into consideration, or if we can find a way where we all win. But we may have to think about a plan B and a plan C if that.
So if they
Doesn't
don't
work out.
approve that, we're just gonna have to run it ourselves?
It's either we run it ourselves or we contract
Yeah,
it, subcontract, which would require the Attorney General review or some sort of legal review, which then could take, we don't know how long.
right.
But we're ready to run this grant.
Well, so I talked to Mike last week. Oh, and he said he wants to sit in on the meeting too, Erica, if you can send him the meeting link, or I can send it to him later.
Yeah, okay. I can forward it to him.
But yeah, so I guess the MOA process and the subawarding process is still possible. They've been getting subawards from Department of Agriculture 5 to 6 months. It's been taking. So like if you wanna, if we're stuck with that, and we can still do a subaward for, it'll just take a while.
Dr. Dilla, okay, so I just want to understand why is it that we need to do the Attorney General review, or why does it take so long again?
Well, if we're gonna do the MOA process, so it just, the Attorney General, since we don't have our own attorney, has to review the MOA. It's basically a contract exchanging money. So the AG helps us write it, makes sure the language is all perfect. There's nothing that the government, obligates itself that it shouldn't do. And then they'll allow it to go for signatures. Then it goes to BBMR, Department of Administration, then the AG's office, then to us, and then to the governor. And at every level, there's a review. Every different department that it goes through, they look at the parts that they're interested. So BBMR will look at the budget. DOA, I don't know what DOA does. They just file it. Governor's office, the governor doesn't sign anything without legal review also. So her lawyer will review it also. But again, like the longest part is working with the AG's office to get the language right of the MOA. It's like they assign a lawyer to us and they just, they're already overtaxed as it is. So they get to it when they get to it. That's why it takes so long.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Sorry, is that what you were?
Yeah, no, there's a very special provision in our budget bill for when the districts gets its appropriation within our language under the budget bill. It says that we can authorize the services of other government agencies to handle our procurement, hiring, etc., or like our procurement. So I don't know if that could help
I think there's a provision.
timeline.
I think there's a provision for that in every government agency. That's how Department of Ag brings their grants to RCOG. I think it's the same process. I can ask for clarification, but when I
Yeah,
spoke,
well,
he
yeah.
said, yeah, no, it's the same thing. We had to
Let me
the MOA.
let me send you that verbiage. I don't know if it might help, but I'm just trying to think of different ways, but yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, send it to me. I'll sit down with Mike, but I'm pretty sure it's the same process that allows Department of Ag to enter into these contracts with RCOG also.
Okay. Yeah, I'll get that to you. I was just thinking about that the other day. But yeah, 5 to 6 months, that's a long time. The
Yeah.
grant will be ready to be closed out by the
Well,
time.
but in that 5 to 6 months, that doesn't stop us from starting the project. We can still start using the funds. So we're not locked out, just like right before we sign the MOA, BBMR has to, readjust all the numbers to take into account what we spent already. So we won't be completely locked out. The only negative is whoever is going to be on this project will be without benefits for the duration of however long it stays with the district.
Okay, so I guess we'll go into that meeting with NACD tomorrow and kind of find out what what we're gonna have to do.
Well, they didn't say no, so I think
Yeah, they didn't say no.
I think they want to just like go over like the ground rules with us, and I think they're going to say yes. Otherwise, they would just said no on the email.
Yeah, I'm interested to know what kind of questions or clarifications that they need further, but yeah, I'm hoping that's what it is that they say yes.
So are we gonna approve this thing today?
No, we just
No.
wanted to update.
We'll
Right
make
now, it's
sure.
just an update
Okay.
because we don't have the MOA
Yeah,
yet. So
okay, so hopefully we'll learn more tomorrow.
right,
Well,
we'll keep
Erica, I don't remember if you distributed the MOA as written. Like it's 100% or 99.9% done. The only verbiage that's going to change is the awardee. So if the board wants to review and approve it, pending the change of the awardee, maybe we can just do that.
that works for me if that works for the board. But let me.
Where's the MOA? Do we have it?
New lighting, do we, that comes? Is that MOA in the email somewhere?
I will have to forward it because the way that they had it was through a DocuSign application.
So
So,
then in that case, we'll just hold off then. Right, until we can take a look at that?
Yeah, yeah. If the board hasn't read it, we'll
Yeah.
table it till later, but as long as it gets sent out, so you guys can review it
right.
later.
Okay.
Okay, we just move on then.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll move on. Thanks for that discussion. B, MOA with Reppy.
Okay, the MOA that did get approved, which is excellent news. We did get the additional 200,000 approved for the next phase of our Reppy initiative. So that it's already in a motion. And I believe we already approved this during last meeting.
Yes. Did we?
So no
so.
action further needed.
So we're okay?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
Right.
move on to C, which FP, general contract approval. For the feral swine.
I know, I was like, whoa, there's a lot
Seen
of
that.
this in our.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I'm gonna go ahead and turn this over to Jara. So Jara, if you can go ahead and just kind of give the brief overview of this general contract and what we're trying to do, as well as, since we have you on topic, provide some updates on the feral swine program and where we're at right now as of today.
Yeah, sure, Erica. I can start with the metrics for the feral swine program so far. Overall, we've accepted 46 applications to the feral swine program since March 28th. 4 rescinded, so that makes it 42, which is the number of applications that we planned for the grant. So far, we have 25 applicants moving forward with phase 1, general eligibility. And as a reminder to everyone, this includes submitting the required eligibility documents, selecting a fence design, and engaging in the environmental assessment process. Of these 25 out of the 46, 20 have completed site visits and 13 were submitted for the environmental assessment to NRCS. So 13 packages were submitted to J. Dornilla so far as of today. And what's pending out of the now total 42 is 17. So 17 applicants are pending site visits. And I was working with Maddie on the pending district registry membership. Out of the 42 applicants, we do have 20 pending the membership. And those are the metrics moving forward. So yeah, we have 25 in process so far out of 42 as a summary. And moving on to the contract. I've incorporated all of the suggestions by Director Ifan, Director Takai, and also a few more by Erica. Thank you so much for your comments. So basically this contract, we've been working on it since May, I believe. And we are trying to get it ready so that UOG can review it, their legal team can review it. So far, I haven't received any additional comments since the revisions, the suggestions from the directors. And I've incorporated all the revisions just to go through it, the contract. You all know, the eligibility requirements, and then it's talks about the contract period. The financial assistance. We go over the rates, the installment payment terms, the award conditions. And in section 5, we do go over each of the responsibilities from the Research Corporation of UOG, the district, the Southern District, and also the participant. A majority of the comments were really centered on repayment requirements and making sure that there are dates specified. And this was Director Yvonne's suggestion. So thank you, Erica, for sending me this template for the schedule of operations letter that NRCS uses for their programs. That's exactly what we needed. And so I did adapt their template to meet our program needs. And in that template, there's a breakdown of each month from July to March, of how much would be distributed to the farmer, and each of those plans will be different based on the timing of each farmer, meeting their eligibility requirements. Director.
She's raising her hand, Director Yvonne.
Oh, yes, Director.
Hi, sorry, I just thought about this when you were talking. Under the REPI grant, the main grant itself, are there special award conditions that subrecipients will need to adhere to? I didn't know if that was required under this.
Director, is that for the REPI grant or for the feral swine perimeter fence?
Oh, sorry, for the feral swine.
I'm sorry, the question was if there are
Special award conditions. For example, under the special award conditions or the SAC, it states that whenever you do some sort of publishing or print, you have to include like the funding number, funded by wherever the funder came from. Like it'll have that kind of disclosure on there for you to disclose like where the funding came from this federal grant award number. So I just wanted to point out that some grants have those conditions whenever you have to award out to subrecipients. So I didn't know if that was something that was written in this grant.
I would say no. I know what you're talking about, Yvonne. It's you know, the awardees for this program are grant recipients. They're not sub-awardees. They're not considered they're not doing work for the objectives. You know, they're doing work for their own award, if that makes sense. They're not sub-awardees, they're grant recipients.
Okay, thank you for clarifying. That's all.
Okay, can I move on?
Yeah.
Okay. So that was really a majority of where the work was, you know, added. I added that new template, and we're calling it our own form for the district. And And I did also add that information sheet, which was already created when we developed the guidelines at the beginning of this project. There was a one-page info sheet that kind of concise the whole administrative guidelines, which was internal. And so that was part of the attachment to review. And that's pretty much it. If there are any other additions, I think this should be final and ready to go for UOG's legal team review, and if we can just get the board's approval, that would be great.
Okay, you wanna make a motion?
Yep. I'm gonna go ahead and move that we approve the contract for submission to the University of Guam, as submitted in its final revision.
I second.
Okay, any other discussion on this? Okay, without any objection, so move. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Okay, good job, Jerry. Okay, no problem. Good goes thing. Moving on to number 9, collateral boards and committees. Where are we at? NACD committees?
Anybody, anything to report?
Chairman, did you make it to the legislative committee?
I
Meeting
did not. Today was like a really, really bad day for me.
Yeah.
And I was just all over the place. But so anyway, what we were talking about is possibly submitting a letter of support from Guam to Congress regarding feral swine project that they're trying to push through. But Erica, maybe we don't need to we could just maybe go through the governor and just have her submit something straight to Congress, right? Glenn, what do you think?
Yeah, like I don't mind the governor. Like maybe we can do a joint thing. You know, I would like to get like the different partners and agencies signed off on it as well. Only because it just shows that, you know, it's not only the initiative of the governor, but it's initiative of the actual people that do the real work on the ground. So like I would love to have the governor's signature on it in addition to the council members.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that, and I think that would be a good way to do that. And so I don't think we really need to ask NACD about that. You know, supporting their letter when we can just submit our own. What do you think, Erica?
Yeah, I think so we're going to work with Congressman Moylan. Like
Oh, well, I thought about that too, and maybe we're like, he can submit his own letter. Getting him to submit a letter of support for that also, or whatever it takes for him as a congressperson.
Does he understand, or does his staff understand enough of the concerns and the actual subject matter to write a good letter? That's my concern.
Well, I don't know how much he understands, but I know we've talked to them about this several times. Maybe we might have to work with his office in you know, to help them with drafting that letter.
Yeah, I like that idea. We'll just, we'll work with the governor, we'll work with the congressman, and then work with the GISC.
The mayors.
And then I think the mayors is part of GISC, but
Yes.
Oh, yeah, right.
but yeah, I think we'll write the letter for them to write the letter.
Yeah.
I think that's what we'll do first, but that's a great idea. And so I'll start looking into some POCs to ensure
Well,
we're
you know
working.
what we're talking about right here? You're aware of well, they pushed the bill through, or, what do they call it? Glenn, do you have the name of that?
No, I don't have it on me. I'm on my,
Feral hog, eradication program, something like that. It was a pilot program, but they wanna make it permanent. And extend the funding for it and make it nationwide, and so we're hoping to. NACD, already we decided that we're gonna support that, and we're gonna submit a letter. And now we're just talking about Guam. Should we just submit our own letter, right? And, well, see how that, hopefully it can help. So, I don't know, what do you guys, you're the federal side, so.
Yeah, we can't advocate for ourselves.
Well, I get that, but
But it sounds.
you can help
But-
us write a letter though.
Yeah, we can definitely
Yeah.
do that. We can provide advice, like,
Yeah.
they help. Crafting the wordage and verbiage.
Sounds good.
Right? Is that Noah? Yay, Noah. Okay.
Well, we can work on that, right? Okay. Is there anything else? That was the invasive
Yeah.
species and.
I think that's pretty much it. Under NACD, I think, Chairman, the Northern Board Chair, Joseph Santos, is requesting a meeting. According to Savannah, he would like to call a meeting of the districts to start talking about the 2026 Pacific Southwest meeting. But I did let Savannah know that maybe the chairpersons can get together first before calling an official meeting of the boards.
Well, I did tell him that.
So
Him and I.
I'll work with Savannah to come up with that date
Okay.
to align. But all in all, we did talk with Ariel, and she provided some advice, if you will, of what other states have done in coordinating the Pacific region meeting. So we'll share that with the group.
Okay, so we'll move on to election committee. Who's on the election committee?
I think that's Mark. And Director
Mark.
Glenn and myself and Daleen, I think,
Oh,
attended.
So yeah, Glenn Sakai wasn't able to join the meeting yesterday. Let me just get it. So we did meet yesterday, Robin Kidwell from the north, me and gentlemen. Were on the meeting, so some of the updates, we just. Okay, so voter registry is the deadline to submit to the advisors at University of Guam is July 15th. And then we discussed this, that we're only gonna use that that registry for the election. We're not gonna be registering people all the way to the day of the
Yeah, no,
election.
yeah,
But you guys could continue to be recruiting people.
yeah,
It's just
but they're
that
not
They
gonna,
won't be able to vote.
eligible to vote, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Other dates, nomination periods. So we are gonna have to put out a notice for nominations. Jackie Hanson's preparing those already. And the dates are from July 15th, and initially it was at August 2nd, but that's on a Saturday. So we're gonna change it to August 1st for the nomination period. So we're gonna have forms available in print as well as on the university website. And then once we get that, we'll also provide it to both the northern and southern districts. Where if you guys want to put it on your websites or your Instagrams, it'll have a QR code where people could just download it from there, or they could come in, get a physical copy, or download it from the University of Guam's website. So that will be the time to nominate for new board members. Election day scheduled for Tuesday, August 19th. From 8 AM to 7 PM, and that's gonna be here at the university in room 104. We also did discuss about the buffer zone for campaigning. It's gonna be 100 feet from room 104. I know in the past, I know GPD was called because people were campaigning right outside the door, so we're gonna actually measure and we'll put some kind of cones out there where.
Is that the max 100 feet,
That's what.
not from like? the
Yeah,
gate
so
or
it'll
the-
be somewhere out here in the parking lot where
Yeah.
they can do that. And then for the tabulation, it'll be done on the next day, which will be, I think the election's on a Tuesday. So we'll tabulate on Wednesday, where it'll be both myself and Rollin. And we're gonna be requesting for at least 2 staff members from each board,
District.
just to be, just to verify, you know, that we're doing that. So the minute we.
So who's gonna secure the ballot box?
We will secure it at the end of the day.
Okay.
And then we'll lock it up, and then we'll take it out and tabulate the next day. And then once we get those, the final counts, it goes directly to our dean. And she reports that to the president, and the president will be the one to announce it. And then from there, it'll go to the governor, and then the governor will decide on when's gonna be the days to.
But when do the candidates know?
It'll be known once it comes from the dean's office. So it
From
won't
the
come
dean.
from the advisor, it has to come from the dean.
Yes, and then it goes up to the president for
Yeah.
further
And then the
processing.
dean will also be required to hold the ballots for 60 days. Just in case there's any discrepancies. And yeah, and we are gonna also provide the thing in print to, I believe, the Guam Post. For the election day and also for the nominations.
Sounds good.
What kind of, I know you need the list of members.
3 years went by very fast.
The last day, July 15th.
Well, yeah.
That's what kind of information. Did you need any specific information?
Well, they're gonna have to have their names, because when they come in, Glenda Hall, so we're gonna have 4 staff from.
What was your question, Maggie?
What does the registry have to entail?
Is
A
there
little
anything
bit for
specific?
your membership registry. And we've done it in the past, so I wasn't a part of the districts in the past, I could ask Jesse Bamba, I know for sure the names. What were you saying, your confirmation numbers or you? Certificate number, and then before it gets to us, we're gonna ask each chairs to vet the list, to make sure that this is the correct list and these are the people that can vote. Yes, do you guys know from the last one, how did you guys submit your registry?
What was it?
I don't remember, but I
It was,
remember
we had a listing, an Excel listing that we've had for many, many years. I think Jera, when she was at ADS, that was her list, really, and then we had an online database that we tap into, so it wasn't, yeah, we had different lists going on, but I think it had their name and their lot number.
Yeah, we're gonna try and make it not like
Village.
the last election where people were registering the same day of the election, so
Yeah.
we came in and having to provide like a water bill or a power
Yeah.
bill, so we're not
Yeah,
gonna go through
no.
that this time, so.
There's gonna be a cutoff,
Yes.
and that's,
But yeah, so what I could do is confirm with the previous advisors on their listing, how did they accept it, and then I could come back and let you guys know. But one of the things though that was discussed in yesterday's meeting was the definition of an active member. Right, so I know according to Rollin, the Northern District was just wanting to recruit everyone from the whole Chamorro Land Trust and place them
Yeah.
into the. But when we discussed it, the chairs would have to discuss it amongst themselves.
well, you can't just do a blanket,
Yes, so that was our recommendation, is that the person that registers to be a part of the
Yeah.
district, it has to be on a volunteer
Yeah.
base, like I sign off that I am, so.
Exactly.
The some of the issues where if they just take a blanket thing and pull everyone in, some people may not even wanna be on the district.
Yeah.
Right, so that's something that you guys may need to discuss.
And then what, how are you gonna control who, first the husband can come in or the in-law, common law can come in later?
Yes, and another issue too is that we could also have a dual person, like let's say, they have a farm in Chico, but they live in Talapo. So that person could actually choose which
But
district,
it has to be one
they could choose at least one.
or the other,
Yeah.
not, yeah.
So let's say if we pull from the CLTC or even Department of Ag's bona fide listing, they may have a farm in the north, but they may live in the south. So that person has the option to choose. So, for now, what we're saying is that, we're not gonna.
So that's where Joe and I would cross-check our list.
Yes.
Yeah.
And allow it only in that way.
Yes,
Yeah.
but right now, we're not trying to approve that blanket recruitment.
Yeah, no.
It's not gonna be
No.
feasible, so,
No,
right now, when I told them how, the South was doing it by actually going out and doing field visits, right, and signing off. I think that's
Vetting
the
them.
best way to vet the process.
Yeah.
so the ones who voted in the last election, they would have to do the application by August 1st, is that? Are
As
they?
long as they're in the
Or-
registry.
Yeah, to get on the
July
registry.
15th.
Okay,
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's all I have to report.
Yeah. Okay, well, good,
Thank-
thank you.
Thanks so much, Mark. I know that I was able to get the advertisements sent to the group of what was previously used. So I take it Jackie's using that.
Yeah, so we got it in a Google Drive, so we downloaded all of that. The only real things that we needed to update were just the change of dates. And some people have changed, so we just changed emails and those things, but overall, it's gonna look like the last ads that was put out.
And I'm sorry if I missed it, but we're still like individuals cannot register during the nomination period, right? In the nomination period.
It has to, as long as their name is there on the July 15th. Before July 15th, then they could either vote or be nominated, yes. But after the 15th, they won't be able to.
Okay, cool. Because I
Okay.
think for us, we have it on our radar, being that members are only approved during our board meeting.
Mhm.
So directors, July 9th, I believe, is our partner meeting, in which I'm working with Jara and Maddie to ensure we have as much of our members signed up before then, because then it closes and who knows by what time we'll be able to re-engage into a board meeting. Might be September, might be, right, ideally, where we get back on to approving members again. So just keeping that in mind. Because our next board meeting after the July 9th is July 16th, which nominations are closed and our active district registry should already be submitted. Just so that the board is aware.
But yeah, just make sure you're doing your work out there, proper vetting and everything. We're not just gonna accept anybody that says, oh, well, count me in.
Yeah,
Go to the-
well, pretty much everything's verified through land management or through deed, physical copy. Yeah, FSA, there's farm and track, they're established there. Yeah, there's nobody like coming in that's not vetted, and I've seen their place, but just some people do register. But they just want information, they don't really wanna be active.
Yeah, part of.
Yeah,
Or,
so
yeah.
there's that.
Well, you can keep them on the side that indicate that they don't wanna be
Yeah.
that it does.
Yeah, I didn't.
Like a call list, right? for-
Yeah, just
when we're
yeah,
doing stuff,
like a
yeah.
email, call list, something like that.
Yeah.
That's all.
Okay,
Okay. Good, good. Thank you. Okay, where are we at?
and
Election Committee District Office?
any reports from there? No.
Yeah, it's just really quick. Day and Johnny and the team have been working really hard to help get our office in order. So we were informed by the University of Guam's maintenance guy that inspections are happening in July, and we have some derogatory remarks such as decluttering that office in room 126 and removing things away from the wall. I've already forwarded that information to Savannah, and I believe Johnny has already informed also the Northern District on the need to get this office cleaned up and in code, because we do not want to be a reason why the university has failed. So Johnny and Day have been doing amazing. Maddie, please get those storage bins for Day as soon as you can.
Ready?
And then we do need to identify storage space temporarily. So Mark, do you have any place we can store stuff? If you're,
I to
you know.
offer, but they're actually gonna condemn my place.
Oh,
Just so that it doesn't get inspected.
Okay.
we need to rent a
I have a storage container.
Yeah, I was like, oh, Chairman has storage space because has all his other stuff.
Yeah.
Unless you guys just wanna.
How many,
condemn
how many,
the office.
how many boxes or crates? do you
How
have?
many, yeah, how many containers are we looking at there? Day.
Day, yeah.
Two, or I would just say three,
Three.
and then like some boxes
Yeah,
of our merch.
Glenn says.
what was that?
Yeah, no cardboard boxes
He has.
in the office,
Ah,
so it has to be those.
Yes, all the cardboard boxes have to be taken out.
so how many boxes would I need to, I mean,
I would say four.
that's fine. You
I
can
have
do
a
that.
list of two, and
Okay.
then I can share.
I just did another truckload today.
Oh, my goodness.
Two, actually, two.
Yeah.
two.
So since we have Savannah here, Sav, I know the North has a lot of things too. So if you guys can also work diligently to clear that space, so that way we're not receiving an F during inspection. Okay, so I don't know if the board wants to do it, like inform the North another way, but it's serious.
We'll work on it.
Yeah, I think having Sav already
Yeah,
here.
she's good.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. So July is, and it's already coming up, but that I wasn't given a specific date, but July is the day or the month of inspection.
2 more
Okay.
weeks.
Alrighty.
Okay, moving on to forest stewardship.
Like, there was a forest stewardship meeting. There's a survey that Rudy's asking stakeholders to complete to help kind of start drafting up their 5-year plan. So I'll share that with the board, and if we can just take a look at that and provide input.
Okay.
Okay. Is there anything else, other recent meetings or anything like that? Um. Related to our district operations or anything that you guys wanna bring up or any, we're good?
I have nothing.
Erica, did you have anything?
No, not at this immediate moment, but I know that we do have a few meetings coming up, such as the Guahan Sentinel Landscapes partner meeting. I won't be here for that. And then there's also a watershed committee meeting. Director Yvonne, will you be attending that? When is that one for again? Just remind me. On the 26th, it's next week, I believe. I'll pull up the information and then send it to you, to the board.
Is that
Just
on Thursday?
Yes.
No, I'm not able to attend that one.
Okay. We will try to find someone who can sit in on that. Um, okay,
Okay,
pretty much it.
so moving on, thank you, Erica.
Actually, can I just drop in really fast?
Go ahead, John.
So I also did send the local working group action report Monday. Similar to the GEX and the Soil and Water Stewardship Week one. But it's basically a report of what went on at the local working group April 30th. So just something else for the board to review, provide any comments, suggestions for edits. I know that I also sent it to the North, and they did respond saying that they are gonna provide some comments and suggestions before and after their July 1st board meeting. So we got a few weeks, a couple weeks until, the North is also giving their input. So at your earliest convenience, if you could just take a look and let me know what would need to be included or edited out.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
I just want to know Johnny did an amazing job on that that report. So thank you, Johnny, making us look good.
How many page was that? Like,
It was a lot of pages, but what needs to happen is, I guess, after the boards collectively review and agree, we'd have to package that up and send it to Jay. So
Yeah.
that we move it forward. And we're
Okay.
early.
He's gonna say something.
Okay, move on, board correspondence. Oh. Back to the GACD technical assistant 2020 reimbursement thing, so. Erica, Savannah, did you guys have anything on that about the reimbursement from, what was it, Jenilyn's Travel?
I've been coordinating with Erica on this. I brought it up to Director Kat since she's holding the checkbook. But she requested for the receipts for the 2022 leadership visit, and then Erica sent that, and now we're just waiting for Jen to give her the memo from her trip call.
Okay.
Thank you,
So,
Sarah. Yeah.
yeah, thanks, hopefully we can get that process soon. And then we'll just get this whole thing moving. Cause that's what we're waiting for, and then, between that reimbursement and one to NACD, hopefully we can just. Take care of all of it at one shot. So,
Ideally before a new board.
yeah, that's something we should do right away
Yeah.
before we get to that, so. Can you
Yeah,
bring
I'll
that?
keep pushing, yes.
Okay, thank you. I know you'll get it done. Okay,
Okay,
well,
and in
that's it.
addition, we received the request to reimburse the North for the poster contest. I was able to review. Director Marty, were you able to review that too? I'm fine with it. We'll go ahead and reimburse.
Yeah, I approve, it's good.
Okay.
I just have can I just bring up one thing, just with the 2025 minutes, are we able to just sign electronically and send it to the secretary and, or if Dave's able to send it to secretary and president and just sign electronically.
Yeah, that's fine. Use
Yeah.
the Adobe.
With Adobe, using Adobe. So we were just discussing that earlier, trying to get the stuff organized, with the. I think, yeah,
Okay, that's it, Maddie, you're good. All right, thank you. So Noah, I guess this is your time.
Yeah, I don't have a ton of things to add. Happy to always be here and hear about what you guys are doing. It's cool to be involved. But Chad will be back starting Monday, so we'll start
Okay.
doing these again, and then maybe I'll still come. I'm not sure. I have a lot going on some of the base projects, but it's cool being involved. So thanks for the invitation to the meeting so far. I know that for FY 26 planning, we're starting to develop those workbooks and figure out our plan of action, and so we'll probably be reaching out pretty soon. To you guys to what exactly you're thinking about doing. I know we've done it a couple different ways in the past. Chad
Yeah.
seems to like the method of doing it all at once continuous, but we have also done intermittent in the past, so. We'll probably want to start that discussion pretty soon, since October is coming fast.
I talked to Buck
Mhm.
and our invasive species meeting after we were done there. So yeah, it's kind of the same thing we talked about with Chad.
Yeah.
About consolidating everything and, packaging it in a better way where it covers Guam.
And I think that is the goal.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, when Chad gets back maybe, and then you guys wanna figure out something there to talk about things.
Yeah, but that's all I'm looking at.
Okay,
And Sam also, yeah.
huh?
Sam? Savannah, she has.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Savannah, you have anything you wanna offer?
Just one thing, Chairman Joe asked me to invite you guys to join the non-communicable disease consortium. We're in the fruits and vegetables action team, and we've been getting together every second of the month now at 11 a.m. I asked Erica this morning. He only asked me to invite you guys this morning. So I added the Southern email to all the future calendar invites. So we've also asked department or the NCD group to formally invite you guys as well. So we hope to collaborate together for the future meetings.
Okay, we'll take a look at it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. That's it for, where we at?
Reminder.
Yeah. Yeah. So our next board meeting will be July 16, okay, so, and that's a partner meeting?
Yeah.
The
Okay.
partner meeting is July 9th.
Oh,
Apologies.
Oh.
And then our 7/16 meeting is our board directors.
Oh, July 9.
so July 9 is the,
The partner, and then the 16 is the board.
okay.
Okay, all right. With that said,
Chairman,
motion
we
to
just have
adjourn.
a,
Yes,
we have a quick executive session that we need to break into really quickly.
oh. Okay,
Let's break.
okay, so, yeah, the staff, you guys can step out.
I'm gonna stop the live stream and the recording.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Yeah. Nice to meet you. How much?